Awesome. Hi, Carol Kane. I'm Cortland. It's wonderful to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How's everything going?
Well, things are going in a sort of a fairy tale fashion at this very moment for
Yeah,
me.
someone here just got nominated for this film for a Independent Spirit Award, which is very exciting.
Somebody did. Let's not say it. And then somebody also got the New York Film Critics Award for Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah.
So somebody's stunned.
But somebody's probably like super happy as well.
I'm so grateful and happy, and I mean, it's a really special thing at this time of life
Yeah.
for some recognition like this to happen. I didn't expect it at all, and I'm more than grateful, and I will confess I'm pretty happy.
Good.
I'd be happier if my Jason was part of it because uh when you see the movie, I hope you will see that my performance is totally dependent on Jason's performance, and my performance is his performance. I mean, we're
Yeah.
just a unit. So yeah,
Speaking of that, I
but
want to jump right
he's
in.
so happy for me.
I'm
Uh,
sure.
well, he is, but that's not necessarily going to be the case. I mean, I told him I'd be jealous, but yeah.
Jason seems like such a sweetheart, and I love the push and pull you guys have, especially, at the very beginning where you mishear his profession for cancer rather than canter. I love that moment. Talk to me about falling in love with Jason Schwartzman on screen.
Okay, well, I have to confess. I fell in love with Jason Schwartzman on screen way before our movie.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
been tracking this guy since the very beginning, and I will see anything that he does. And I just love him, and I loved him as the crazy king in Sophia's movie. And
Yeah.
oh my God, wasn't
And
that great?
Marie Antoinette. Is that
Yeah,
yeah,
wasn't he great?
so good.
And in everything. So that's why I'm in the movie, is because somebody called me, my beloved manager, Brian Liebman, called me and said, they want you to do a movie opposite Jason Schwartzman. And I just couldn't believe it. And I was so grateful. And that was COVID time too. So it seemed like a big challenge like when I met Jason and our director, Nathan Silver, it was on Zoom because we couldn't be in a room together.
How was it working with Nathan? He's got such an interesting visual style that I'm sure doesn't nearly like explain itself on set, but like when you see it in a theater, it's absolutely so interesting to watch and fascinating to witness. How is it working with him?
It it turned out to be pretty spectacular. I had trepidation because we didn't have a script, and I've never done that in all my years. The script has always been sort of the crown jewel that you try and do a setting around. But he he was remarkable, and he partnered with Sean, our DP, who's so brilliant and just was in every scene with us and tracked us around because some of it was improvised because
Yeah.
of the way Nathan works. And Sean just was in there and ready for any surprises, any changes. So he was a character in the film with us.
How was it? I know he shot on 16 millimeter. How did that work for you as an actor? Did you enjoy that process?
Well, I love it. I like hearing the film go through the sockets. Something that I miss. So I love that. And yeah, I love film.
Yeah. There's
I've
a
missed, I've missed it.
Yeah. There's this very special visual quality that the film has, and I think it's because of the 16 millimeter.
Good,
Yeah.
good. And because of those two guys,
Yeah.
Nate, John, and fact that they've got this special language between them. And as I always say, the best example of Sean's amazing cooperation and collaboration is the scene where Jason sleeps in my son's bed
Yeah.
with my
With
son's pajamas
pajamas.
on top of his clothes. And then I say to him, if you need anything, I'll be right downstairs. And then I just collapsed down on the floor by the bed. And that was not planned. I was supposed to exit. And Sean just went with it, whereas most people would say, no, I can't, I have to cut, I have to light that shot, I have to, you know, measure out the distance and track her down when she lies down. He just went with it.
I love that. I love that that moment was improvised too, because it's one of the funniest scenes in the movie.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and yeah, thank you.
This film, speaking of, this film modernizes the screwball comedy. What was your favorite part of playing in that genre?
Well, I never thought of it objectively like that. Oh, I'm in a screwball. I never thought of that.
Yeah,
But it was just wonderful to be in this sort of free form love story that you never knew what was going to happen or how it was going to turn out, but you knew that these two characters had to have each other in their lives.
yeah,
Like it happened one night, or
yeah.
you know from the beginning that they're going to have each other in their lives. You don't know how, but that's going to be important. And so it's a story of rebirth because both of these characters are rather desperate at the beginning of the movie. It's clear in Ben's case, but Carla, my character, is also desperate. She's
Yeah.
alone for the first time in her life. She wants to do this thing that she's wanted to do since she was a child, which is get bat mitzvahed. It's very out of the ordinary, and she's going to fight for it for the first time in her life. So, yeah.
I want to talk about the singing components of Between the Temples. You're singing these religious songs with Jason throughout the film. You're obviously no stranger to singing. You were in Wicked as Madame Morrible, and you sang on Kimmy Schmidt, which I actually sing a little bit of your songs around my house all the time
Good. Oh
from that
my God,
show.
what
I
an
love it.
honor. Thank you.
Um, The Only Way to Go On, I sing that song all the time. Um,
Oh.
Is there something different about doing it this time on screen now, like especially because there's this religious component to it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's very specific. First of all, which is something that I have never done before, it's not singing, it's chanting.
Right,
I have never chanted before. It's a very different thing. It's a real specific melody, but it's not a song.
right.
It's hard to get. And then along with the fact that it's in Hebrew, which I knew nothing about, because I am Jewish, but I was not bat mitzvahed. My
Mhm.
parents were not religious. So I've spoken Yiddish before in Hester Street, but I've never spoken Hebrew, and it's very different language because Yiddish you can hear the German, the French you can, there's familiarity, but Hebrew, that's a whole nother deal.
Yeah,
So that's what was so specific. It was not singing, it was chanting, and it was in a language that is very complicated to me. I
right.
admire each and every teenage kid who's just done it, including my two nieces, Ariana and Lizzie, who've done it.
You've been in some iconic film and television shows. Is there a project you're most proud of or think doesn't get enough recognition?
Oh, that's it. Doesn't get enough. I mean, I'm very proud of, well, I'm very proud of Carnal Knowledge and Hester
Yeah,
Street, Detail, Wedding in White that didn't get enough recognition in America. I don't think it had a PR campaign. Wedding in White, Donald Pleasance, brilliant. Um, I guess I'm very proud of all those things. I feel that the TV show I did with Al Pacino recently, Hunters,
yeah.
didn't get enough recognition. Um, Gene Wilder's movie, The World's Greatest Lover, didn't get enough
No.
recognition.
Yeah.
Uh, but that's the luck of the draw, and that's why it's so gratifying and shocking in a way that this tiny little movie Between the Temples is getting this recognition,
Yeah,
because you can never count on that. You can just do your best, your absolute best, but that does not guarantee that anyone will even ever see it.
absolutely.
So it's really, I don't know how it works, but one thing does not necessarily lead to another. And in this case, it did. A good movie came out and people wanted to see it and enjoyed it. Yippee!
Yeah. Is there a genre or role you want to do next? Do you want to be like
Mm.
an action star or yeah?
Me and Uncle Schwarzenegger. No, well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind being in Fantastic Beasts or one of those big fantasy
Oh
movies.
my
That's what
gosh,
I like.
yeah. I could also see you like in a
That
Marvel movie. I'd be delighted to see you in a
I
Marvel.
would be thrilled. It's something I've never done, and it would be a lot of fun.
That would be
Yeah.
so cool. Marvel, call her, please.
Marvel,
Um,
just get Marvel on the wire
please
for
get
me.
Marvel on the phone. Um,
Oh,
Carol, it was absolutely a delight to talk with you. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me today, and congratulations on all your very well-deserved success.
thank you. It's been a privilege to talk to you.
Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.